Here's a look at a recap of your markets on this Friday, the first day of November. Take a look at what happened at the auction barns around the state this week. Of course, don't quite have all the data in yet, but looks like we're going to end up with around 30,000 head through the auction barns. The feeder steers under 750 pounds this week, and the heifers under 650 pounds were stayed at $5 lower. That market seeing some pressure from a lot of unweaned new crop calves finally starting to show up around the barns. Most of those showing up in smaller packages. No big load lots of the lightweights really present this week. The heavier weight yearlings, they were fully steady, maybe a couple bucks higher on some of those load lots. Some of the stick-out sales at the auction barns around this week had a small package of 450-pound steers at the Mocan livestock market, brought $347.50. A gooseneck load full of 523-pound steers at Callaway sold at $323. The weighted average price statewide on those light 5 to 550-pound steers at $298 this week. A part load of 580-pound steers at Lawley Brothers Livestock Market sold at $305. Had a full pot load of 948-pound steers at Windsor Livestock Market, $275.75. The weighted average price statewide on those 7 to 750-pound steers this week at $257. A full pot load of 806-pound steers at Kingsville brought $261, and a full pot load of 911-pound steers at Tina Livestock Market, $251 and a quarter. Taking a look at some of the stick-out sales on the heifer side this week. A pot load of 595-pound heifers at Windsor sold at $284.75. The weighted average price on those 550 to 600-pound heifers at $261. A full load of 625-pound heifers at Tina Livestock Market sold at $280. And then there was several pot loads from 7 to 750 pounds heifers around the state. Sold mostly on the fancier full pot loads from $254 to $256. The weighted average price on those 7 to 750 pound heifers this week at $248. Box beef cutout values. Choice closed on Friday at $316.34. That's down $1.26 for the day, down $5.90 for the week. Select closed at $285.03, down 34 cents for the day, but down $10 and a nickel for the week. That makes the Choice Select spread 31.31, and volume today 95 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. Taking a look at the negotiated feedlot trade for the week. As of the 2 o'clock cutoff on Friday, total sales 86,340 head. Most of the live trade took place from 189 to 190. Dress trade at 296 to 298. Texas reported about 2,100 head. Kansas reported about 9,300 head. Nebraska, 24,000. And Iowa, 34,000. Taking a look at the closing futures markets on the Mercantile Exchange. Of course, we lost in the October contracts this week, so we've moved to new months. December live cattle, 37 cents lower at 185.92. February up 12 at 186.90. And April, 187.70, up 35. November feeder cattle up $1.50, 246.87. January, 243.20, up 187. March at 241.15, up 207. Lean hogs for December, 27 higher, 84.07. February, 86.02, up 82. Turning our attention now to the grain markets at the elevators around the state this week. Soybeans were mixed from 15 lower to 22 higher. Wheat saw a lot of gain. Most of that came on Friday due to some basis adjustments. Seems like there might have been some barges that made it down the river, so they had some orders to fill those. The wheat was 54 to 89 cents higher for the week. Corn steady to 14 higher. Taking a look at some of those corn bids around the state in the St. Louis region. 421 to 424. St. Joe at 384. Kansas City 369 to 394. Soybean bids in St. Louis 10.04 to 10.07. San Joe at 9.25 to 9.63, and Kansas City at 9.17 to 9.98. Wheat bids in St. Louis 5.68 to 5.83. The futures markets on Friday: corn contracts, December for 14.5 up 3 3/4, March up 3 1/4 up 4.29 1/4. November beans were unchanged at 9.82.5, January 9.93 3/4, down 3/4. The first 2 months of the wheat contracts 2.5 cents lower, December 5.68 even, March at 5.87 3/4. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets for the week. This is Tony Hancock.